guys, and welcome to another Savvy Saturday. If you like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe. Without further ado, let's just get into today's video. Okay, you guys, so as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys some tips and tricks on how to Marie Kondo your finances. I have several tips that I would like to share with you guys. This is just something to make you basically go back and refocus or reevaluate the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year when it comes to your finances, things that bring you joy, things that you need to eliminate, things that you need to organize, stuff like that. It's basically the Marie Kondo version of your finances. If you guys don't know, I did a whole series on the Fly Lady and the KonMari method. I have a whole playlist that I will link in the cards for you guys or down below so you can check that out. So I just don't speak on it. I've actually done it myself, and now I'm going to apply it to my finances as well. And I wanted to share you guys some of the tips and tricks that I'm going to use to Marie Kondo my finances. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is refocus on your financial goals. At the beginning of the year, everybody makes New Year's resolutions or goals for the year, or whatever it is that you call your goals, or whatever you want to call it. Because some people don't like to say like resolutions and goals. They like to say like what I plan to do type situation. Whatever word you want to use, you need to go back and refocus on the things that you decided you want to do when it comes to your finances in 2019. So for me, I had several things. I wanted to save $6,000 a year this year for my fully funded emergency fund. I want to save $1,500 each quarter and $500 each month. So now that it's April, at the end of March, I should have had $1,500 to go towards my goal. And so if I find out when I go back to reevaluate and focus on my goals that I didn't have the $1,500, then this is where I will go ahead and look at what went wrong in the first quarter or the first 3 months of the year, or February or March, or whichever month I fell off. Like I may have only $500 and I wasn't able to save the other $1,000 the other 2 months. Then I need to look at why I failed, why I wasn't able to achieve the goal that I wanted to achieve. And that's why I like to tell people to break your goals down into yearly goals, quarterly goals, and monthly goals. Because if you fall off, every time you reevaluate, you can see what went wrong, what went well, and what you can change in order to meet your goals. So go ahead and sit down with your financial goals for the year, check and see where you are, and make any adjustments if necessary. So the next thing you need to do is dust off your debt payoff plan. A lot of people fall off on their debt payoff plan during the beginning of the year. You are so enthusiastic, you're so optimistic, you're so motivated at the beginning of the year. But as things happen, maybe your finances change, maybe emergencies come up and things like that, and you kind of fall off your debt snowball or your debt avalanche, or whichever method of your debt payoff plan that you're using, and you find that you are not doing the things that you're supposed to do to keep on track with your debt payoff. And so this is sort of refocusing on your goals, but this is specifically look at the debt. Look at how much debt you have. Are you accumulating new debt? Did you pay off a credit card or 2 or 3? This is just where you could just refocus on your debt plan. Okay, so say that you had 5 debts for the year and you've paid off 3 of those debts and you have 2 left. The purpose of the debt snowball is to use the minimum payments on those other 3 debts and put it towards the minimum payment that goes with the 3rd or 4th debt, and combine those together to pay off debt number 4 quickly so you can hurry up and get to debt number 5. But what I find is a lot of people just pay the minimum payments on debt number 4 when they finish 1, 2, and 3, instead of combining them in order to make your debt snowball even bigger. So this is the time to go back and check and make sure, are you using the extra money somewhere else? Are you not putting all of it towards debt as you're supposed to be doing? Are you only putting half, a quarter, a piece, maybe here, maybe there? No, you need to say, okay, I said with myself that I was going to use these minimum payments. I was going to use this stuff when I paid off these other debts towards the other debts so I can get them paid off just as fast as I did the other one. And after a while, debt payoff can get tedious, it can get boring. You can, you know, like I said, you'll be motivated at the beginning, but then towards the end or towards the middle or a couple months in, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sick of doing this. But you have to stay focused. You have to reevaluate. You have to go back to the reason why you started to keep you motivated. Nobody can keep you motivated on a debt payoff program but you can get like accountability partners. You can join groups, you can have a financial coach, whatever it is that you need to stay motivated. But you need to stay motivated on your debt payoff journey. So make sure you reevaluate your debt payoff journey and make sure you're paying as much money towards debt as you are able to pay, and that way you'll feel really good about what you're doing. So next is to get tidy with your tax refund. Do not use your tax refund to have a ball, a party, go on a trip, whatever the case may be. Your tax refund is the thing that can shoot you, can motivate you, can propel you forward when it comes to reaching financial goals. Boom, you have a high interest credit card and you could pay the whole thing off with your tax refund. Pay it off. Or you don't have an emergency fund and you just got your tax refund. Why are you not putting it in your emergency fund? These are things that can save you heartache in the future. Because believe me, I have been there before. I had a tax refund, went and bought everything I wasn't supposed to buy, and then as soon, I'm telling you guys, it happens every single year to millions of people. As soon as that tax refund, as soon as you spend that last dollar, that's when your emergency hit. That's when your car get hit, your home catch a fire, you lose your job. It's crazy how Murphy comes for you as soon as it knows that you have ran out of money. So make sure you are saving your tax refund for emergency. Make sure you're paying down debt so you can free up more income. Whatever the case may be, you need to make sure you organize and tidy up your tax refund. That means make a list of your tax refund, how much you are, how much you're going to dedicate to this credit card, how much you're going to dedicate to your emergency fund, how much you're going to dedicate to your car maintenance fund, things like that. So when the time arises, because it is coming, it ain't coming, it's coming, you will be ready and prepared. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is organize your budget. And what do I mean by organizing your budget? A lot of people say that a budget is just writing down everybody you owe and how much you're gonna pay them. That is not necessarily a budget, because you know that off of the top of your head. You know who you owe and you know how much money you have to pay them every single month. Organizing your budget is breaking it down into categories to let you know what is the most important thing that I need to focus on in my budget. So for instance, what are your four walls? I call them fixed expenses on my budget. So this is my mortgage, my electricity, my gas bill for the house, my alarm system, my internet. Those are my four walls that I need to be able to function and make money and be able to take care of my household. Then the next thing I have is debt. So any debt that I owe is the next most important thing for me to pay on, because I need to get that debt down as soon as possible so I can quit paying people. Then next I have my sinking funds. These are the funds where if anything comes up like Christmas, my car maintenance, my home maintenance fund, I put money in there, and that is how I go my categories. And then next I have my cash envelopes. Now a lot of people are like, why are your cash envelopes after your sinking funds? Well, for me, I still skip over the sinking funds and go to cash envelopes first, but I just prefer to put the cash at the bottom. Anything that I have to take out of the account, I like to have at the bottom of my budget so I know what I need to withdraw. But you can, but my cash envelopes do come before my sinking funds account. So I could reverse them, but I just like it that way. But for you, if you want to put it in the order of importance, go ahead, by all means. Your budget is your budget. You need it to work for you. So that is how you need to organize your budget. You need not to just write something down. You need to write it down in the order of importance, in the order of things that you want to pay off for sure. So say that you're living paycheck to paycheck right now. You really don't have enough of extra income to do anything extra. Then you need to write down all the bills that you need to pay first, that need to come out of that paycheck. So if you don't have any money left, at least you have somewhere to live. At least you have groceries to eat. At least you have fuel to get back and forth to work so that you can make the money to continue to paying your bills. And that will help you see, okay, this is what I need to do. And your mind won't wander and be like, oh, I have money to go to the movies, when you really don't have money to go to the movies because you just wrote everything down, but you didn't write which was more important than the other one, if that makes sense. So make sure you organize your budget as well. Okay, you guys, so the next thing is clean up your subscriptions. There are so many people, and I was one of them when I first started my budget, who just paid a subscription because it just costs $10. It just costs $5. It just costs $4. That stuff adds up every single month, okay? Every single month. So if you're not using your Netflix, if you're not using your Hulu, if you don't go to the gym, cancel the subscription. You do not need it. I had Netflix for about 2 years. I promise I could count on one hand how many times we watched Netflix in those 2 years. And I just didn't want to cut out, like, oh, but what if I wanted to watch a movie one day and, it was there? Or, what if the kids was like, well, what happened to Netflix? Them children still don't even know that I had cut off Netflix. That's how much they did not watch Netflix. That's how much I did not watch Netflix. I just spent $10 a month for 2 years wasting money away. That could have went toward debt. That could have went to my emergency fund. That could have went to our vacation fund. It could have went my home maintenance fund. Get rid of subscriptions that you're not using. Subscriptions that are causing clutter in your life. For instance, a lot of people have a lot of magazine subscriptions. Do you really read those magazines? Do you really need to pay for the magazine subscription? Do you really read those magazines? Or if there's certain ones that you read and there's other ones you don't read, well, cancel the ones you don't read. Cancel those. I mean, getting money, paying for something that you're not using just doesn't make sense, okay? Just like people have all these cable packages with 9 million channels, you can't even watch that many channels. Why do you need all the extra packages, all the extra stuff? Get it when it's football season and then cancel when football season's over. Or get it when new movie season come out and then cancel when new movie season is over. I am just so against cable because when I watch cable, I've now to tell you guys, I've never had cable. I've lived in this house for 12 years and we've never had cable. The only time we had cable was when my mom was here and she wanted cable. And even then, we still didn't watch it. So in my hindsight, me and my kids, we never had cable. My kids never grew up with cable. They never knew anything about cable. They didn't care anything about cable because it was the lifestyle that we lived. And so whenever my mom had cable, we would watch. It was like when we was ready to watch something, if we want to have a movie night or something, they was playing the same movies for like 5 and 6 months. Like, what sense does that make to pay for cable when you're going to watch the same movies over and over again? If that's the case, you can just go buy the DVD and bring it home and pay for it one time and not on a monthly subscription or a monthly, cable bill or whatever the case may be. So look at all the subscriptions that you have. Anything that you're not using, get rid of it. Anything that you can reduce, and just cut it, y'all. Just cut out those subscriptions. So the next thing you need to do is close old bank accounts. I have a couple of coaching clients and I'll ask them, when it comes to coaching, I have to ask, personal questions. I have to ask, how many bank accounts you have, how much money you have in each of the bank accounts, and why do you still have these bank accounts open? So I've had several clients who have like 5 or 6 bank accounts, but each bank account has like $1, 50 cents, $200. Why are you having all of these bank accounts in all these different places? What is the purpose? You're paying fees to each and every one of these banks because most banks nowadays do have free checking, but that's only if you get a direct deposit. If you're not doing a direct deposit, they're charging you money depending on which bank it is. If you have a savings account, they may be charging you a fee for having that savings account open. I know things have changed, but there's still banks out there that charge you fees. Believe me, I know, because I've left several banks because they want to charge me to put my money, for you to borrow my money. That would be a negative, okay? So if you're paying fees at your bank, you need to find a new bank. Get rid of it. You should not be paying a bank a fee to use your money. That's just my opinion. Why should I pay you $5 every month when you're using my $900 or my $1,000 to loan out to other people and you're making money off of my money? I'm not going to pay you to make money off my money. No, that would be a negative. So clean up those old bank accounts. Get rid of them. If you haven't put money in there years, you don't even remember what the bank was or what the bank account. If you ain't even got no checks for that bank, then you need to get rid of it. Do you really need 7 bank accounts? Do you really need 10 bank accounts? Do you really need 5 bank accounts? Think about it. Think about where your money is, how spread out it is, and what are you using them for? To be honest, I have 2 savings accounts and 3 checking accounts, and I use them on a regular basis. I deposit money into those savings accounts. I use those checking accounts. And I'm not getting charged fees for any of the accounts that I have, and they have really good interest rates. So look at what your bank is offering you, and do you really need to stick with that bank? Because if they're not offering much, then why are you being loyal when they're not being loyal to you? So do you need 7, 8, 9, 10 bank accounts? No, you don't. Minimize, combine all of your bank accounts to something that's useful for you, something that is manageable for you and that you won't forget about, and something that you use on a regular basis. If you don't use a bank account on a regular basis, if you're not regularly depositing money, if you're not regularly using money out of that bank account, why do you need it? Okay, so last and not least is check on your spending. How much money have you spent and what have you spent it on? Simple question. How much money have you spent and what have you spent it on? Have you spent it on doing everything but what you said you was going to do with it? If you said I was going to save $1,500 for the quarter, if you've only saved $200, what did you do with the rest of the money? Because when you sat down and made your budget, when you sat down and looked at your financial goals for the year, you told yourself, yes, if I do these things, I will be able to save $1,500 by the end of the quarter. Yet you didn't, which means that you were not spending your money where you're supposed to be spending it. You're not putting your money where it should go. You are out here willy-dilly spending and not paying attention to what you're doing. So make sure that you're reaching your financial goals. Make sure the budget that you set for yourself, you are sticking to it. Make sure that it's not something that's impossible to stick to, because that can also be the reason why you're overspending or not putting your money where you thought you would, is because the goals that you set for yourself are probably too hard to obtain, and you need to either break them down or reevaluate what your goals are, which was the first tip in this video. Reevaluate your goals, in second quarter. Find out what it is that you said you would be able to do. Number one, did you meet it? Number two, why didn't you meet it? And number three, is it unrealistic? Does it need to be broken down even more, or does it need to be modified? So make sure you guys are evaluating and looking at and paying attention to how much money you're spending. Okay, you guys, so that is the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my videos, please make sure you guys subscribe. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, don't forget to turn on that notification so you don't miss any more videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.